Okay, guys. Now, I have been told by a couple of my sources, and a lot of different people have been, talking about how I'm unbalanced, I'm biased, I don't call out the men. Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna break down the whole out of wedlock childbirth, the black women, you know, at the end of the day, really, what really matters in the black community is the sexual access that the women give the men, right? Look, okay, like you guys are people that have critical thinking skills, right? Okay, so in the black community, there's two different types of men that everybody agrees on, right? There's the educated lame, and there's the pookie and the ray ray, right? The pookies and the ray rays and the educated lames are kind of in battle right now inside the black community. There's just a lot of animosity towards the Pookies and the Ray Rays, and the Pookies and the Ray Rays have a lot of animosity towards the educated lames because both sides want something that the other side has. The Pookies and the Ray Rays get the sexual access, and the educated lames, I don't know what those guys get. What do they get? They get the money, I guess. They have more money than the Pookies and the Ray Rays, and they don't have a criminal record. So, what I'm trying to get at here is the women of the black community only want to give the sexual access to the Pookies and the Ray Rays. Now, if there's a black man that's actually building in the black community, that's doing something tangible to build, and he's not getting any incentives to continue building because the ones that aren't doing anything are getting all the sexual access from the women. So then he's sitting here thinking, I look like a damn fool building for a community of women that won't capitulate to my needs, in terms of sex. Okay, that's the real gripe that the educated lames have with black women. Okay, I mean, guys, that's basically what they have the gripe with. I'm trying to, I'm not an advocate for them. I'm trying to be balanced. Okay, I'm looking at things from an outside perspective because I'm not an educated lame and I'm not a Pookie and a Ray Ray. Okay, I'm somewhere in the middle. You know what I'm saying? I can switch it off and I can switch it on. I can be the corporate nigga and I can be the hood nigga. You know what I'm saying? If I go to a job, I can be corporate. If I go to the hood and I'm trying to get some, some bitches and shit like that, I can switch it off. I can go into hood nigga mode. I can go into corporate nigga mode. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? It's really nothing for me to do it. Okay, so that's basically the gripe that a lot of black men have with black women. Okay, so let's break this down. Let's get into the article. 77 black births to single moms, 49% for Hispanic immigrants. Okay, let's break this article down, guys. Let's go. Okay, let's go. So more than 3/4 of African American births are to unmarried women, nearly double the illegitimacy. Sorry, guys, I'm not really that good at reading because I've got a sixth grade education, right? You know what I'm saying? That's why people say I have a sixth grade education, even though I've got bachelor's degrees in psychology and maths. I've got a sixth grade education, right? But anyway, nearly double is the illegitimacy rate of all other births according to new federal data. Okay, so what does that speak to? 3/4 of African American births are to unmarried women. That means the women have no type of sexual restraint. Because look, in the sexual market, women have the power when it comes to sex because they choose who they lay with, okay? The men are not very discerning with who they sleep with because the sexual access does not come very frequent unless you're a, extremely high value male in terms of sexual market value. But the average hood nigga, he's not thinking about morals and he's not thinking about whether a baby is coming in when he's trying to have sex. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta look at context here. Women are the gatekeepers of sex. They're the ones that give you sex based on how you sell yourself to them, right? I mean, shit, that's how it works, right? So, yeah. So the women are not discerning with who they sleep with. They don't They don't care nothing about if he's building for them or if he's going to be a good father to their children. That's why they're single mothers. They're not thinking ahead. They're just thinking in the now. I guess they have no type of sexual discipline. The black women have no type of sexual discipline, guys. I mean, a lot of guys don't want to hear this. A lot of people, all these simps keep attacking me when I say this, but it's true. I mean, 77.3% of non-immigrant black children are illegitimate. They're not married. And again, I mean, I'm going to say another controversial thing. Black women are not marriage material. A lot of black women want to be wives. I mean, they want to be married. No. Sorry guys, don't forget what I said. A lot of black women want to get married, but a lot of black women don't want to be wives. They don't want to behave as wives. They don't want to be submissive. They want to be strong and independent, okay? See, white women, when they were... Okay, I'm going to give you guys a little history lesson. When white men were fighting for... in the 13 colonies, American Revolution. The American Revolution, right? The American Revolutionary War was between 1765 and 1783. They were fighting the 13 colonies. The 13 colonies were fighting the British to try and gain independence, okay? Now, the white women of the 13 colonies, they weren't sitting there being disruptive and trying to garner some type of power and have a power struggle with their men, because they knew that they needed to, be submissive and let the men lead in order to garner some type of influence later on for them. So they knew their place. They knew, and they had enough sense to shut up and let the men lead. And, obviously feminism started later on. But during the war, the Revolutionary War, the women weren't trying to be strong. They weren't trying to be feminists. They weren't trying to have some type of power struggle, okay? Look, right here. Women in the American Revolution played various roles depending on their social status, in which race was a factor in their political views. The American Revolution took place after Britain, blah, 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 blah. But basically what this says is that the women were definitely, helping their men garner some type of influence. They're not trying to be disruptive when the men are, they don't have any, look, the American men in the 13 colonies didn't have enough power. The women needed to boost up and uplift the men in order to win the Revolutionary War. If the men are battling the women and battling the British at the same time, they're not going to win the Revolutionary War. They're not going to gain independence from the British in the 13 colonies. They're not going to gain independence. So, okay, so now if you look at black women, they're the polar opposite. How are you? I mean, okay, let me break this down for you guys. This is very funny, but when you think about it, black women are so dumb that they want to have a power struggle with their male counterpart when their male counterpart is at the bottom of the barrel and they don't have any type of power. They've got no type of communities, no type of banks, hospitals, no nothing, no power base, no economic base, nothing. But they want to have a power struggle with the men that have the least amount of power in the country, in the world. That doesn't make any sense. Feminism doesn't do anything for black women because we don't have any power. We have no power. So it's like, what are you trying to gain power from? We don't have any power. So what are you talking about? Trying to gain power from a group of men that historically have never had any power. No type of economic power, nothing, nothing. I don't see the point. So 77% of non-immigrant. Okay, I've already read that one. The new numbers was in the Center for Immigration Studies analysis on the births to immigrants. The total is 32.7%, but to Hispanic immigrants, It is 48.9% according to Stephen Camarota, the director of research for the Center for Immigration Studies. Okay. So here it says 77.3% of, I mean, no, here it is. It's percent births to unmarried mothers, number of births to unmarried mothers, total births. So Hispanic people are really, really, really birthing some children out here. Like, really, 453,000? Damn, that's a lot of children. Okay, so black women, 77.3%, what, 369,000. And okay, so let's keep going with this article. Okay, it really isn't. Okay, so are black women marriage material? I mean, a lot of black women don't want marriage. They want sexual partners. They don't really want a marriage, okay? Yeah, okay, basically, they're talking about a patriarchy here. Look, patriarchy demands an American woman's values connected to her relationship status. A woman who has a ring on it, or rather has been chosen by a man as a permanent partner, fares better socio-economically. Okay, so patriarchy, that's the key word here, okay? Black women feel that patriarchy oppresses them. They only want to, capitulate to a white male patriarchy. They don't want to capitulate to black male patriarchy because if they were to do that, then a lot of different things that they are doing right now in the community would be checked. They wouldn't be able to get away with a lot of the things that they are doing right now, like um, being disrespectful, not listening to the black authority of the men, doing whatever they want, running around, doing whatever they want in the community, running rampant, um, no having any type of sexual discipline, not thinking anything about the repercussions of reckless casual sex. So, you know, it's like it's just so many different things that I could touch on. There's welfare, there's feminism, there's I mean black women. Did you guys know black women have a net worth of $5? They literally have a net worth of $5. And they're the least desirable race of women on the planet, guys. I mean, it's like no, the studies over here. The studies over here. Here it is. Here's the study, guys. $5, bro. Like you guys are worth $5. That's your entire wealth combined. $5. $5. You have a net worth of $5 because black women they spend all of their money at an Asian hair beauty salons, trying to get their nails done and trying to get their weave and trying to get their makeup, but they're not thinking about anything to do with investment. They're not trying to think about nothing. They're just thinking about in the now. They're living in the now. They don't have any foresight. So here's the article. Women of all races bring home less income and own fewer assets on average than men of the same race. But for single black women, the disparities are so overwhelmingly great that even in their prime working years, their median wealth amounts to only $5. When you are worth only $5, then wow, that that really speaks to a larger issue, doesn't it, guys? I mean, $5, that's really all you're worth? Essentially, that's all they're worth. It's insane. Okay, in a groundbreaking report released Monday by a leading economic research group, social scientists turned the spotlight on the grave financial challenges facing an often overlooked group of women, many of whom could not take an unpaid sick day or repair a major appliance without going into debt. black women have so many flaws and idiosyncrasies that need to be addressed. That's I think that's gonna be my that's gonna be definitely that's definitely going to be my title for this video, and I'm gonna make a good thumbnail as well. Black women and their many flaws and idiosyncrasies that need to be addressed. Okay, here it is. All right, put it up. Okay, so it's rather shocking, said Maizulu, director of the blah blah blah. Racial disparities in net worth. Among the most startling revelations in the wealth data is that while single white women in their prime of their working years, aged 36 to 49, have a median wealth of $42,600. And then you guys tell us that we shouldn't get with white women. I mean, look at the difference in wealth. Why would we get with black women when their net worth is only $5, guys? It's $5. They're worth $5. $5. I mean, seriously, $5. I mean, guys. I mean, obviously, they're not actually worth $5. You gotta look at the whole picture. No. I miss. Go back to the black community. It only goes back to different communities, which is why there's no type of black wealth, because we don't invest in our own communities. We don't have any businesses, and that's basically that was the crutch of what he was saying. Like the cliff notes of what he was saying, right? Okay, so even for those of us who have been looking at the wealth gap for a while, we were shocked and amazed at how little of women of color have. Researchers at the Insight Center for Community Economic Development, based in California, analyzed data from the 2007 study of Survey of Consumer Finances, blah, blah, blah. Wealth or net worth measures the total of one's assets, cash in the bank, stocks, bonds, and real estate. Okay, so that's even worse now, because that means that they don't have nothing in the bank, because they're living from check to check to check to check. No type of savings, nothing, no assets. I mean, obviously they don't have any assets because, yeah, they rent cars and they rent houses. They don't own shit. Wow. Okay. Wow. Wow. This is insane. The most recent financial data was collected before the economic downturn, so the current numbers likely are worse now than at the time of the study. Black women in general are more likely to have participated in the subprime loan crisis, with upper-income black women being 5 times more likely to have received a high-cost mortgage than upper-income white men. I mean, obviously, we all know white men run the country, so they definitely have more money than us. The popular image is they spend too much. Clearly, that's precisely what I said. They spend more than they make, so they're basically they're at the poverty line. They're below the poverty line. They're minus. They're not. I mean, okay, look. Say I make $100,000 a year, right? But then I spend more than $100,000 a year. No. Yeah. Basically, because you can get a mortgage, right? And then you can get a car, and then obviously your mortgage will be high, your car note will be high. Say your rent is probably like what, $3,000 a month, 2,000 a month. That's 20,000 a year, and then your car, probably the house is probably more than that. It's probably like 5,000 a year, and then the car is probably like what, 1,000. That's 50, 10 plus 10,000, 60,000, and then 40,000 is probably on Gucci bags, hair salons, nails, getting your nails done, all this different shit. And then it ends up being $100,000. And they run up credit card debt and consumer debt, but the cost of living has risen faster than income, and they need to go into debt for basic daily necessities. They probably don't make $100,000. Nobody makes $100,000 in the black community unless you're a doctor or something like that. No one really makes $100,000. I'd say probably most of them are on welfare. They don't work. A lot of black women don't really work. They take welfare. They sit up taking welfare and Section 8, and they just think about child support. There's no type of actual wealth in the black community, if you think about it. Even when you combine the NFL, the NBA, and all these other different places that black people dominate, we still have no wealth. We still have no type of wealth in the black community. Okay, it's compounded because unemployment is twice as high in the black community than it is in the white community. She's not surprised. See, Samira Ross, she's not surprised. Of course, she's not surprised. More gossip to create more division with the black families. Women in general don't look at and value money the way men do because he's appointed as the provider. If you're going to economically put women on the same level as well, then she would need to be held equally responsible. Men in most cases, again, men look at their men to take care of himself, his wife, and children. When it comes to women, she look at her responsibility just as her and maybe her children. This is just from a financial point of view, and she never considered the man no matter how much money he makes. What are you talking about? Women care more about money than men. Men only care about the woman's looks. We don't care about nothing about how much. I mean, I care, but generally they don't. Men don't care. And this type of thinking destroys families all the time. Money and education are material elements that's acquired to support the household. It's not meant to control the household. What are you talking about? The household, you mean the household, right? The controlling of the house has to be on the foundation of God. What has got to do with the finances of the house? What is he talking about? And everything else has to be second. If your child begins to earn money, will he or she take control of the house? No, their money will be looked at as a contribution. And that's the way everyone's money should be operated within a home. Wow, it's a sad stat, but it's 100% true. Because look, black women probably make 20 in average. They probably make $20,000 to $30,000 a year, right? Let's say 20,000. Okay, but then if your rent is like 1,000 or 800, and then you have a car now that's 600, that's already 1,400, right? And then there's 600 left. That 600 is gonna be gone quick in a hurry because groceries, food, gas, electricity, lighting, just so many different things, and food, and like probably going out to eat, going to the restaurant, watching a movie, buying clothes, buying Gucci bags, buying weave. You know what I'm saying? And then they end up racking up to 2,000, and then they obviously have credit card debt. So then they end up spending more, and then they have to keep working, keep working, keep working every year. They don't save any money, so then they just work their way to an early grave. That's pretty much it, right? I mean, really, you can spend more than you make because you can take out a loan, right? It is what it is. A lot of black women don't have any type of financial outlook on life. They only care about child support. But anyway, tell me what you guys think, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Your boy Phantom is out. I'm out. Peace.